silver projector hums a low vibration. Dust motes dancing in the cone of white light. You lean against the velvet of the back row, while the reel spins a tale of black and white.
The cigarette smoke curls like a ghost of a memory, trailing through the silence of a crowded room. We are strangers meeting in a flicker of shadows, before the orchestra begins its sudden bloom.
The leading lady wears a crown of soft focus,
Oh yeah,
running through a station where the steam clouds rise. The hero waits with the collar turned against the rain, with 1,000 unspoken promises in his eyes. I see your profile etched in the glow of the screen, a silhouette of something I used to understand. The film crackles with the salt of an ocean, as the celluloid slips through the projectionist's hand. All the frames are shaking with the weight of the years, moving too fast for the heart to keep pace. We are locked in a motion that never arrives, searching for the warmth of a flickering face. The soundtrack is skipping on a broken needle, but the story remains just as sharp as a blade. We are only the colors that the prism forgot, living in the lines that the sunlight made. The shutter clicks like a heartbeat in a tin box, freezing the motion of a falling tear.
There is no dialogue written for the things we feel, only the static that reigns in the ear.
Burn the edges of the map we were following, let the chemicals bleach the sky to a gray.
We are the actors who missed the final curtain, left standing in the glare of a vanishing day.
The credits are rolling like a heavy iron gate, names of the forgotten drifting toward the floor.
The usher is sweeping up the salt in the houses as we find our jackets and head for the door.
The street outside is too loud and too vivid.
The colors are bleeding into the concrete vein.
We carry the flicker underneath our eyelids,
Long after the theater has washed off the stains.
back in the alley where the brickwork is down.
The moon is a spotlight that nobody claims.
I look for the grain in the skin of your palm, for a version of us that has never been named.
The world is a sequence of accidental cuts,
Stitched together with a friend in sand.
we are the ending that nobody predicted. Holding the air where we used to hold hands. The sparking holes are tearing at the seams of the night. The blue light is fading from the glass of the fly. We are the ghosts that the lens couldn't capture, waiting for the key to turn inside the lock. All the frames are shaking with the weight of the years, moving too fast for the heart to keep pace. We are locked in a motion that never arrives, searching cores of warmth of a flickering place. The soundtrack is skipping on a broken needle, but the story remains just as sharp as it plays. We are only the colors that the prism forgot, living in the lines that the sunlight made.
The silence is a thick velvet curtain, drawn tight between our leaning frames. I watch the way your pulse beats uncertain, a flickering match without the names.
Tracing maps upon the dusty wooden floor, gravity is pulling on the marrow, while the clock face holds its breath in check. The hallway narrowed down to something narrow, a sudden weight upon the turning of your neck, finding patterns in the shadow of the door. This invisible friction is graining the gears, a voltage that flows through the passing of years. No ink on the page, but The story is deep, a promise the cells of our bodies will keep. Magnetic and heavy and tethered and true, the current that flows from the center of you.
They look for clues in the wreckage of sound,
But the
loudest vibrations are buried underground, where the roots intertwine and the minerals bleed. The soil knows exactly the harvest we need.
We are statues made of lightning and of stone, waiting for the spark to melt the glass. The language of the marrow and the bone is watching every common sentence pass into the void where the explanations go. The air has turned to liquid in the room, a sudden tilt within the spinning loop. This invisible friction is grinding with gears, a voltage that flows through the passing of years. No ink on the page, but the story is deep, a promise the cells of our bodies will keep. Magnetic and heavy and tethered and true, the current that flows from the center of you. Horizontal light bleeds through the cotton weave, gold dust dancing in the stillness of the air. I watch the patterns that the heavy shadows leave upon the tangled fibers and your braided hair. The world outside is just a low and distant hum, beyond the wooden frame where morning meets the floor. Nothing but the slow and steady come of warmth that seeps beneath the heavy bedroom door. The endless things spreading wide across the quilts, a map of islands made of heat and quiet grace. We shed the heavy winter skin of doubt and guilt in this luminous and temporary space. Your shoulder is a ridge where summer comes to rest. I trace the pale geography of skin and bone. The pulse is beating like a bird within a chest that finally found a garden it could call its own. Oh, the radiance is soaking through the thread, turning every fiber into liquid flame, while we are drifting on this pale and linen bed, without a ticking clock or any debt to name. Just the weight of light upon our tired eyes, filling every hollow where the darkness used to stay, until the very fabric starts to polarize, and watch the charcoal remnants of the night away. The breeze is lifting up the hem of every fold, stirring up the scent of lavender and sleep. The pale yellow turns into a heavy gold, a reservoir of quiet that we get to keep. places where our limbs entwine, a slow and steady elemental morning gift that blurs the boundary of your pulse and mine. The shadows shrink away into the corner cracks. The ceiling glows with reflected afternoon. There is no stepping in the old and muddy tracks when every fiber is a bright and warm cocoon. The window is a lens that focuses the day, directing every beam to land exactly here, to burn the heavy clouds of yesterday away and leave the atmosphere remarkably and crystal clear. All the radiance is soaking through the thread, turning every fiber into liquid flame, while we are drifting on this pale and linen bed, without a ticking clock or any dead tonight. Just a world applied upon our tired eyes, filling every hollow where the darkness used to stay, until the very fabric starts to polarize and wash the charcoal elements of the night away. The linoleum floor is a stage tonight. The refrigerator hums a steady low tone. The dishes are cooling in the drying rack, and a heavy day has finally flown. I take your hand and lead the way past the toaster and the copper pots. The window glass is dark and deep, tied in several silver knots.
We don't need a band or a velvet room to feel the gravity begin to bend. The smell of rosemary and garlic cloves is where the city noises finally end.
Your slippers slide across the tiles. The kettle starts to softly breathe. There is a harvest in this small space that we are starting to unshoe. Oh, the world is spinning in a kitchen spoon, under the glow of the 60-watt moon. The flour on the counter is falling like snow, while the clock on the wall has nowhere to go. We are stepping through the steam and the dust, in a circle of salt and a circle of trust. The shadows stretch against the pantry door like giants moving in a quiet dream. You lean your head against my chest, floating down a domestic stream. No headlines screaming in the hallway now, no engines roaring out the traffic light, just the friction of two woolen sleeves pouring off the edges of the night. I remember how the morning looked, bitter coffee and a hurried pace, but the evening has a different soul reflected in your tired face. The magnets on the fridge hold up the ghost of every place we ever meant to be, but right here near the cutting board is the only light I need to see. Oh, the world is spinning in a kitchen spoon, under the glow of a 60-watt moon. The flour on the counter is falling like snow, while the clock on the wall has nowhere to go. We are stepping through the steam and the dust, in the circle of salt and circular trust. The pilot light flickers, a pale blue flame, like a vigil for the things we cannot name. The grocery list is a poem on the wall, and for a moment we are standing tall above the spills and the broken glass, watching the happy seasons pass. The world is spinning in a kitchen spoon, under the glow of the 60-watt moon. The flour on the counter is falling like snow, while the clock on the wall has nowhere to go. We are stepping through the steam and the deuce, in a circle of salt and circle of trust. Oh, the world is spinning in a kitchen spoon, under the glow of a 60-watt moon. The flower picture spoon under the glow of a 60-watt moon. The flour on the counter is falling like snow, while the clock on the wall has nowhere to go. We are slipping through the steam and the dust, with a circle of salt and a circle of trust.
The silver disc hangs low above the bay, where a tide meets tangled reed along the shore. I watch the golden warmth dissolve the gray, and waited by the rusted iron door.
The crickets cease their steady summer hum, as shadows stretch their fingers through the pines. I knew the hour of our pact had come, to cross the border of the plotted lines.
You step from out the heavy velvet dark,
with starlight tangled in your uncut
the dogs let out a final distant bark.
Then silence settled in the chill.
No compass rose could guide us where we stood.
Beyond the maps, the better men and
We sought the clearing deep within the wood,
to trade our secrets till the edge of
all the pale lamp is swinging from the sky,
casting ghost fire on the dusty road.
We have no heavy truths to justify, nor any debt to pay the debts we owe. The river runs a ribbon made of glass,
Reflecting every scar
we tried to hide.
we tried to hide.
We'll let the heavy wooden wagons pass, and keep our tryst upon the other side.
All the pale lamp is stringing from the sky, casting ghost fire on the dusty road.
We have no heavy truth to justify,
Nor any debt to pay the debts we owe. The river runs a ribbon made of glass,
reflecting every scar we try. The clockwork of the town is ground to halt. The merchant sleeps upon his bed of gain, while we are tasting spray of bitter salt, and walking through the dry and empty rain. The laws of gravity have lost their grip.
The heavy chains of habit follow.
We'll launch a wooden wreck and let it shift.
Being roar the bitter arrival of the day.
Your hand was cold against my woolen sleeve. The words I spoke were jagged and were few.
The wind would shoot.
It's easy for the lonely to believe
Then please come my life.
in visions that the midnight sky can brew.
Can brew. The owl is calling from the hollow of a sermon for the ones who will not pray.
We wrapped ourselves within a linen cloak,
That linen cloak to keep the coming winter winds at bay.
the path back home is overgrown with bright. The windows of the village remain blind,
We lit a small and solitary,
and left a judging world a mile behind.
got a mile behind,
The moon begins its slow and steady fade,
into the charcoal cruising,
but we remain within the cool and shade.
until the hunger of the night
Oh, the pale lamp is swinging from the sky.
casting ghost fire on the dusty road.
We have no heavy truth to justify,
Nor any debt to pay the debts we owe. The river runs our living made of glass.
reflecting at a sky we try.
Too high,
Oh, the pale lamp is swinging from the sky.
casting ghost fire on the dusty road.
We have no heavy truth to justify,
Nor any debt to pay the debts we owe. The river runs a ribbon made of glass.
reflecting every scar we try.
Too high.
Plucked from the hay haze of a sleeping valley. The violet stains on my window pane. A purple smoke crawling through the alley, drowning out the shadows of the pouring rain. Floating on a sea of pale velvet petals, where the iron mind finally starts to rust. Searching for the point where the spirit settles and the heavy memories turn into dust. The clock on the wall has lost its pendulum. The calendar pages are blank and white. I walked out past the city and the end of them, into the cradle of a soft and holy light. The shepherd is gone, but the flock is still grazing among the fragrance of a million bruised stems. The silence of the field is truly amazing, like a crown made of soft and fragrant gems. Plucked from the haze of a sleeping valley, the violet stains on my window pane. A purple smoke crawling through the alley, drowning out the shadows of the pouring rain. Floating on a sea of pale velvet petals, where the iron mind finally starts to rust. Searching for the point where the spirit settles and the heavy memories turn into dust. Take me where the river runs slow and heavy, like wine poured out from a cracked clay jar. Down the gates and the stone-built levee, show me exactly who and where you are. I see the tall stalks bowing to the thunder. I feel the perfume sinking in my bones. It pulls the weary soul way down under, away from the kings and their hollow thrones. Touch from an haze of a sleeping valley, the violet stains on my window pane. A purple smoke crawling through the alley, drowning out the shadow of the pouring rain. Floating on a sea of pale velvet petals, where the iron mind finally starts to rust. Searching for the point where the spirit settles and the heavy memories turn into dust. From the haze of a stooping valley, the violet stains on my window pane. A purple smoke crawling through the alley, drowning out the shadows of the pouring rain. Floating on a sea of pale velvet petals, where the iron mind finally starts to rust. Searching for the point where the spirit settles and the heavy memories turn into dust. The street lamp leans heavy against the brick, a copper taste where the silence used to be. I reached to straighten out the scene, but found a ghost waiting in the cotton weave.
It is a sharp blow punch to the senses, a trail of jasmine left without a witness.
The clock is ticking like a rusted pulse, while the doorway holds the shape of your exit. I didn't need to hear the gravel crunch or watch the taillights bleeding into the fog.
The evidence is pinned against my throat,
Silver scent that wasn't there at dawn. There is perfume on my collar like a bruise,
a sweet mistake that refuses to fade away.
it talks louder than the lies you told.
It hangs heavy than the keys in my hand, a liquid map of where your secrets went, tracing a line that I can't scrub clean. There is perfume on my collar like a stain, a high-priced shadow clinging to the clock. You brought home a garden that isn't ours. I left the petals scattered on my chest. Now the air is thick with someone else, and the truth is smelling like a rose in decay.
Wash it out with the strongest light.
Boil the water until the steam turns gray.
But the fibers have a memory of their own. They hold the vapor of a different night.
The weaver remembers the lean of your head, the way you carried another person's pride. I am standing over the ceramic sink, watching the bubbles turn to gray foam. The bottle you bought me stays on the shelf, dusty and sealed like an old apology.
While this new intruder fills the room,
demanding space in every breath I take. I could burn the fabric to a pile of ash and let the wind carry the threads to the sea.
but the saw would only preserve the sting of the
Chemical kiss that you didn't hide.
You walk through the threshold wearing a theft
And draped the loot across my shoulder blade. And there's perfume on my collar like a bruise, a soup mistake that refuses to fade away. It talks louder than the lies you've told. It hangs heavy than the keys in my hand. A liquid map of where your secrets went, tracing a line but I can't scrub clean. There is perfume on my collar like a stain, a hot bright shadow clinging to the cloth. You brought home a garden that isn't ours and let the petals scatter on my chest. Now the air is thick with someone else, and the truth is smelling like a rose you decay.
The morning stretches thin across the unmade sheets. A single dust mote wanders through the gold. You are reaching for your watch, but time retreats into a story that has never yet been told.
I watch the way your eyelashes begin to part. The heavy pendulum is swinging in my chest. There is a quiet revolution in the heart when every frantic worry comes to rest.
We are suspended in the honey of the hour. The coffee steam is frozen in the gray. Love is a slow and blooming nocturnal flower that takes its velvet time to find the day.
No need to chase the shadows down the hall, or measure out the miles we have to go. I'm leaning back against the kitchen wall,
watching the river of the seconds overflow. This is the grace of the frame by frame, a long exposure of a flickering flame. We are drifting through the stillness of the deep, keeping the promises the restless never keep. No rushing tide to sweep the shore away, just the deliberate beauty of delay. Slow motion love is all we need to know. As the world speeds on, we let the moment grow. The clock is ticking in a different room. A distant engine hums a frantic tune. But here the light is heavy and the air is thick. We found the gap between the talk and tick. Forget the finish line and forget the race. There is a vastness in this narrow space, where every touch is drawn with careful ink, and we have all the time we need to think. You trace a line along the hollow of my palm,
as if you're mapping out a continent of calm.
The frantic city screams beyond the glass,
but we are invisible as the seasons pass.
There's no urgency to what we have to say.
The silence speaks in its impassioned way.
A gentle gravity is pulling at our skin.
This is where the real life can begin.
The sun has barely moved an inch across the floor.
The day is waiting just outside the door,
but we are anchored in this liquid afternoon.
A quiet melody that's never out of tune.
If every heartbeat is a stone dropped in a well,
How many ripples only time can truly tell. We're lingering within the softest blur, where everything we were is all we are.
This is good grace of the frame by frame, a long exposure of a flickering flame. We are drifting through the stillness of the deep, keeping the promises the restless never keep. No rushing tide to sweep the shore away, just the deliberate beauty of delay. Slow motion love is all we need to know. As the world speeds on, we let the moment grow.
The violet fabric brushes against the mahogany hall, soft traces of a shadow dancing on the velvet wall. A secret kept in the fibers of a heavy curtain fold. The stories of the midnight remain forever untold.
The air is thick with the scent of an ancient clove, seeking a sanctuary in this deep purple grove. Not a single floorboard dares to creak or complain, while the sky outside dissolves into a silver rain.
Muted rumors beneath the weight of the heavy drapes, shadow light forming all these jagged shapes. In the plush quiet where the ghosts of the past reside, there is nowhere left for a lonely heart to hide. Wrapped in the texture of a soft nocturnal dream, nothing is ever quite as simple as it would seem. Just a low vibration humming in the hollow dark, leaving behind a faint and invisible mark. Gold embroidery tracing the edge of the velvet sea, where the heat of a memory and the cold winter meet. Fingerprints fading on the surface of the glass, watching the funeral of the hours as they pass. A heavy warmth settling over the tired room, like a flower that chooses the midnight to bloom. The pulse of the house is steady and slow, holding on to things that we used to know. The fringe of a rug catches the dust of the stars, healing the jagged edges of our hidden scars. A velvet veil pulled tight across the weary eye, while the moon hangs suspended in a plum-colored sky. It moans beneath the weight of the heavy drapes, shadow light forming all these jagged shapes. In the plush quiet where the ghosts of the past reside, there is nowhere left for a lonely heart to hide. Wrapped in the texture of a soft nocturnal dream, nothing is ever quite as simple as it would seem. Just a low vibration humming in the hollow dark, leaving behind a faint and invisible mark. You that burns beneath the weight of the heavy drapes, shadow light forming all these jagged shapes. In the plush quiet where the ghosts of the past reside, there is nowhere left for a lonely heart to hide. Wrapped in the texture of a soft nocturnal dream, nothing is ever quite as simple as it would seem. Just a low vibration humming in the hollow dark, leaving behind a faint and invisible mark.
projector hums a low vibration. Dust motes dancing in the cone of white light. You lean against the velvet of the back row, while the reel spins a tale of black and white.
The cigarette smoke curls like a ghost of a memory, trailing through the silence of a crowded room. We are strangers meeting in a flicker of shadows before the orchestra begins its sudden bloom.
The leading lady wears a crown of soft focus, running through a station where the steam clouds rise. The hero waits with a collar turned against the rain, with 1,000 unspoken promises in his eyes. I see your profile etched in the glow of the screen, the silhouette of something I used to understand. The film crackles with the salt of an ocean as the celluloid slips through the projectionist's hand.
Oh, the frames are shaking with the weight of the years, moving too fast for the heart to keep pace. We are locked in a motion that never arrives, searching for the warmth of a flickering face. The soundtrack is skipping on a broken needle, but the story remains just as sharp as a blade. We are only the colors that the prism forgot, living in the lines that the sunlight made. The shutter clicks like a heartbeat in a tin box, freezing the motion of a falling tear. There is no dialogue written for the things we feel, only the static that rings in the ear.
Burn the edges of the map we were following. Let the chemicals bleach the sky to a gray. We are the actors who missed the final curtain, left standing in the glare of a vanishing day. The credits are rolling like a happy iron gate, names of the forgotten drifting toward the floor. The usher is sweeping up the salt and the husk as we find our jackets and head for the door. The street outside is too loud and too vivid, the colors are bleeding into the concrete veins. We carry the flicker underneath our eyelids, long after the theater has washed off the stains.
Back in the alley where the brickwork is damp, the moon is a spotlight that nobody claims. I look for the grain in the skin of your palm, for a version of us that has never been made. The world is a sequence of accidental cuts, stitched together with a thread made of sand. We are the ending that nobody predicted, holding the air where we used to hold hands.
The sprocket holes are tearing at the seams of the night. The blue light is fading from the glass of the clock. We are the ghosts that the lens couldn't capture, waiting for the key to turn inside the lock. Oh, the flames are shaking if the weight of the years, moving too fast for the heart to keep pace. We are locked in a motion that never arrives, searching for the warmth of a flickering face. The soundtrack is skipping on a broken needle, but the story remains just as sharp as a blade. We are only the colors that the prism forgot, living in the lines that the sunlight made. The silence is a thick velvet curtain, drawn tight between our leaning frames.
I watch the way your pulse beats uncertain, a flickering match without the names, tracing maps upon the dusty wooden floor.
Gravity is pulling on the marrow,
while the clock face holds its breath in check.
The hallway narrowed down to something narrow.
The sudden weight upon the turning of your neck, finding patterns in the shadow of the door. This invisible friction is grinding the gears of voltage that flies through the passing of years. No ink on the page, but the story is deep. I promise the cells of our bodies will keep. Magnetic and heavy and tethered and true. The current that flows from the center of you. They look for clues in the wreckage of sound, but the loudest vibrations are buried underground, where the roots intertwine and the minerals bleed. The soil knows exactly the harvest we need.
We are statues made of lightning and of stone,
waiting for the spark to melt the glass. The language of the marrow and the bone is watching every common sentence pass into the void where the explanations go. The air has turned to liquid in the room, a sudden tilt within the spinning loom. This invisible friction is grinding the gears of voltage that flows through the passing of years. No ink on the page, but the story is deep. I promise the cells of our bodies will keep. Magnetic and heavy and tethered and true. The current that flows from the center of you. The horizontal light beats through the cotton weave, gold dust dancing in the stillness of the air. I watch the patterns that the heavy shadows leave upon the tangled feathers and your braided hair. The world outside is just a low and distant hum, beyond the wooden frame where morning meets the floor. We wait for nothing but the slow and steady come of warmth that seeps beneath the heavy bedroom door. The amber stain is spreading wide across the quilt, a map of islands made of heat and quiet grace. We shed the heavy winter skin of doubt and guilt in this luminous and temporary space. Your shoulder is a ridge where summer comes to rest. I trace the pale geography of skin and bone. The pulse is beating like a bird within a chest that finally found a garden it could call its own. Oh, the radiance is soaking through the thread, turning every fiber into liquid flame, while we are drifting on this pale and linen bay, without a ticking clock or any debt to name. Just the weight of light upon our tired eyes, filling every hollow where the darkness used to stay, until the very fabric starts to polarize and wash the charcoal and then save the night away. Lifting up the hem of every fold, stirring up the scent of lavender and sleep. The pale yellow turns into a heavy gold, a reservoir of quiet that we get to keep. I see the dust mote spinning in a holy drift, falling on the places where our limbs entwine. A slow and steady elemental morning gift that blurs the boundary of your pulse and mine. The shadows shrink away into the corner cracks. The ceiling glows with reflected afternoon. There is no stepping in the old and muddy tracks when every fiber is a bright and warm cocoon. Though in the riverlands that focuses the day, directing every beam to land exactly here, to burn the heavy crowds of yesterday away and leave the atmosphere remarkably and crystal clear. Those eroding laces soaking through the fray, turning every fiber into liquid flame, while we are drifting on this pale and linen bay, without a ticking clock or any jet to name. Just the weight of light upon our tired eyes, filling every hollow where the darkness used to stay, up until the very fabric starts to polarize and wash the charcoal remnants of the night away. The linoleum floor is the stage tonight. The refrigerator hums a steady low tone. The dishes are cooling in the drying rack, and the heavy day is finally flown. I take your hand and lead the way past the toaster and the copper pots. The window glass is dark and deep, tied in several silver knots. We don't need a band or a velvet room to feel the gravity begin to bend. The smell of rosemary and garlic cloves is where the city noises finally end. Your slippers slide across the tiles, the kettle starts to softly breathe. There is a harvest in this small space that we are starting to unsheath. Oh, the world is spinning in a kitchen spoon, under the glow of the 60-watt moon. The flour on the counter is falling like snow, while the clock on the wall has nowhere to go. We are stepping through the steam and the dust, in a circle of cloud and a circle of trust. The shadows stretch against the pantry door,
like giants moving in a quiet dream.
You lean your head against my chest,
Floating down a domestic stream.
no headlines screaming in the hallway now, no engines roaring at the traffic light, just the friction of two woolen sleeves warding off the edges of the night. I remember how the morning looked,
Bit of coffee and a hurried pace,
but the evening has a different soul,
reflected in your tired face.
the maggots on the fridge hold up the ghosts of every place we ever meant to be. But right here near the cutting board is the only land I need to see.
Oh, the world is spinning in the kitchen spoon,
Under the glow of a 60-watt moon. The flour on the counter is falling like snow, while the clock on the wall has nowhere to go.
we are stepping through the steam and the dust, in a circle of salt, in a circle of trust.
The pilot light flickers a pale blue flame, like a vigil for the things we cannot name. The grocery list is a poem on the wall, and for a moment we are standing tall, above the spills and the broken glass, watching the heavy seasons pass.
Oh, the world is spinning in a kitchen spoon,
Under the glow of a 60-watt moon. The flour on the counter is falling like snow, while the clock on the wall has nowhere to go.
we are stepping through the steam and the dust, in a circle of fault, in a circle of trust.
Oh, the world is spinning in a kitchen stool,
Under the glow of a 60-watt
moon. The flower on the counter that's falling like snow. On the clock on the wall has nowhere to go. We are stepping through the steam and the dust, in a circle of salt and a circle of trust.
The silver disc hangs low above the bay, where tide meets tangled reed along the shore. I watch her golden warmth dissolve to gray, and waited by the rusted iron door.
The crickets cease their steady summer hum, as shadows stretch their fingers through the pines. Our pact had come to cross the border of the plotted lines.
You step from out the heavy velvet dark, with starlight tangled in your uncombed hair. The dogs let out a final distant bark, then silence settled in the chilly air.
No compass rose could guide us where we stood, beyond the maps that better men have drawn. We sought the clearing deep within the wood, to trade our secrets till the edge of dawn.
Oh, the pale lamp is swinging from the sky, casting ghost fire on the dusty road. We have no heavy truth to justify, nor any debt to pay the debts we owe. The river runs a ribbon made of glass, reflecting every scar we tried to hide.
We'll let the heavy wooden wagons pass, and keep our tryst upon the other side.
Oh, the pale lamp is swinging from the sky, casting ghost fire on the dusty road. We have no heavy truth to justify, nor any debt to pay the debts we owe. The river runs a ribbon made of glass, reflecting every scar we tried to hide.
We'll let the heavy wooden wagons pass, and keep our tryst upon the other side.
The clockwork of the town has ground to halt.
The merchant sleeps upon his bed of gain,
while we are tasting spray of bitter salt,
and walking through the dry and empty rain.
The laws of gravity have lost their grip.
The heavy chains of habit fall away.
We'll launch a wooden wreck and let it ship, before the bitter arrival of the day. Your hand was cold against my woolen sleeve.
The woolen sleeve, the words he spoke were jagged and were few. I'm judge of you, I'm shy.
It's easy for the lonely to believe
in visions that the midnight sky can brew.
The owl is calling from the hollow oak,
a sermon for the ones who will not pray.
We wrapped ourselves within a linen cloak,
to keep the cunning winter winds at bay.
The path back home is overgrown with briar, the windows of the village remain blind.
We lit a small and solitary fire,
and left the judging world a mile behind. The moon begins its slow and steady fade into the charcoal bruising of the east. But we remain within the cooling shade,
until
until the hunger of fantasies. On the pale light that's swinging from mid-sky, casting ghosts fire on the dusty road. We have no heavy truth to judge. Plucked from the haze of a sleeping valley, the violet stains on my window pane, a purple smoke crawling through the alley, drawing out the shadows of the pouring rain. Floating on a sea of pale velvet petals, where the iron mind finally starts to rust, searching for the point where the spirit settles, and the heavy memories turn into dust. The clock on the wall has lost its pendulum, the calendar pages are blank and white. I walked out past the city and the end of them, into the cradle of a soft and holy light. The shepherd is gone, but the flock is still grazing among the fragrance of a million bruised stems. The silence of the field is truly amazing, like a crown made of soft and fragrant gems. But from the haze of a sleeping valley, the violet stains on my window pane, the purple smoke crawling through the alley, drowning out the shadows of the pouring rain. Floating on a sea of pale velvet petals, where the iron mind finally starts to rust, searching for the point where the spirit settles, and the heavy memories turn into dust. Take me where the river runs slow and heavy, like wine poured out from a cracked clay jar. Down the gates and the stone-built levee, show me exactly who and where you are. I see the tall stalks down into the thunder. I feel the perfume sinking in the bones. It pulls a weary soul way down under, away from the kings and their hollow thrones. Blood from the haze of a sleeping valley, the violet stains on my window pane, a purple smoke crawling from the alley, drowning out the shadows of the pouring rain. Floating on a sea of pale velvet petals, where the iron mind finally stops to us, searching for the point where the spirit settles, and the heavy memories turn into dust. Sleeping valley, the violet stains on my window pane, that purple smoke crawling through the alley, drowning out the shadows of the pouring rain. Floating on a sea of pale velvet petals, where the iron mind finally stops to us, searching for the point where the spirit settles, and the heavy memories turn into dust. The street lamp leaned heavy against the brick, a copper taste where the silence used to be. I reached to straighten out the seam, but found the ghost waiting in the cotton weave.
It is a sharp floral punch to the senses, a trail of jasmine left without a witness. The clock is ticking like a rustic pulse, while the doorway holds the shape of your exit.
I didn't need to hear the gravel crunch or watch the taillights leading into the fog.
The evidence is penned against my throat.
The silver scent that wasn't there at dawn. There is perfume on my collar like a bruise, a sweet mistake that refuses to fade away.
It talks louder than the lies you told. It hangs heavier than the keys in my hand.
A liquid map of where your secrets went, tracing a line that I can't scrub clean. There is perfume on my collar like a stain, a high-priced shadow clinging to the cloth. You brought home a garden that isn't ours, and left the petals scattered on my chest. Now the air is thick with someone else, and the truth is smelling like a rose in decay. Wash it out with the strongest lie, boil the water until the steam turns gray. But the fibers have a memory of their own, they hold the vapor of a different life.
The weaver remembers the lead of your health, the way you carried another person's pride. I am standing over the ceramic sink, watching the bubbles turn to gray foam. The bottle you bought me stays on the shelf, just being sealed like an old apology.
While this new intruder fills the room, demanding space in every breath I take.
I could burn the fabric to a pile of ash and let the wind carry the threads to the sea, but the salt would only preserve the stain of a chemical kiss that you didn't hide.
You walked through the threshold wearing a theft and draped the loot across my shoulder blade.
There is perfume on my collar like a bruise, a sweet mistake that refuses to fade away. It talks louder than the lies you told. It hangs heavier than the keys in my hand. A liquid map of where your secrets went, tracing a line that I can't scrub clean. There is perfume on my collar like a stain, a high-priced shadow clinging to the cloth. You brought home a garden that isn't ours, and left the petals scattered on my chest. Now the air is thick with someone else, and the truth is smelling like a bowl in decay.
Morning stretches thin across the unmade sheets. A single dust mote wanders through the gold. You are reaching for your watch, but time retreats into a story that has never yet been told.
I watch the way your eyelashes begin to part. The heavy pendulum is swinging in my chest. There is a quiet revolution in the heart when every frantic worry comes to rest.
We are suspended in the honey of the hour. The coffee steam is frozen in the gray. Love is a slow and blooming nocturnal flower that takes its velvet time to find the day.
No need to chase the shadows down the hall, or measure out the miles we have to go. I'm leaning back against the kitchen wall,
watching the river of the seconds overflow.
This is the grace of the frame by frame, a long exposure of a flickering flame. We are drifting through the stillness of the deep, keeping the promises the restless never keep. No rushing tide is with the shoreway, just the deliberate beauty of delay. Slow motion love is all we need to know. As the world speeds on, we let the moment grow.
The clock is ticking in a different room. A distant engine hums a frantic tune. But here the light is heavy and the air is thick. We found the gap between the talk and tick. Forget the finish line and forget the race. There is a vastness in this narrow space, where every touch is drawn with careful aim. And we have all the time we need to think. You trace a line along the hollow of my palm, as if you're mapping out a continent of calm. The frantic city screams beyond the glass, but we are invisible as the seasons pass. There is no urgency to what we have to say. The silence speaks in its own patient way. A gentle gravity is pulling at our skin. This is where a real life can begin. The sun has barely moved an inch across the floor. The day is waiting just outside the door, but we are anchored in this liquid afternoon. A quiet melody that's never out of tune. If every heartbeat is a stone dropped in a well, how many ripples only time can truly tell. We're lingering within the softest blur, where everything we were is all we are. This is the grace of the frame by frame, a long exposure of a flickering flame. We are drifting through the stillness of the deep, keeping the promises the restless never keep. No rushing tide to sweep the shoulder white, just the deliberate beauty of delay. Slow motion love is all we need to know. As the world speeds on, we let the moment grow.
The violet fabric brushes against the mahogany hall. Soft traces of a shadow dancing on the velvet wall. A secret kept in the fibers of a heavy curtain fold. The stories of the midnight remain forever untold. The air is thick with the scent of an ancient clothes, seeking a sanctuary in this deep purple grove. Not a single floorboy dares to creak or complain, while the sky outside dissolves into a silver rain. Muted murmurs beneath the weight of the heavy drape, shadow light forming all these jagged shapes in the plush choir where the ghosts of the past reside. There is nowhere left for a lonely heart to hide, wrapped in the texture of a soft nocturnal tree. Nothing is ever quite as simple as it would seem. Just a low vibration humming in the hollow dark, leaving behind a faint and invisible mark.
Gold embroidery traced in the edge of the velvet sea, where the heat of a memory and the cold winter meet.
Fingerprints fading on the surface of the glass,
watching the funeral of the hours as they pass.
a heavy warmth settling over the tired room. flower that chooses the midnight to bloom. The pulse of the house is steady and slow, holding on to the things that we used to know. The fringe of the rug catches the dust of the stars, healing the jagged edges of our hidden scars. A velvet veil pulled tight across the weary eye, while the moon hangs suspended in a plum-colored sky. Muted murmurs beneath the weight of the heavy drape, shattered light forming all these jagged shapes in the plush quiet where the ghosts of the past reside. There is nowhere left for a lonely heart to hide, wrapped in the texture of a soft nocturnal dream. Nothing is ever quite as simple as it would seem. Just a low vibration humming in the hollow dark, leaving behind a faint and invisible mark. Muted murmurs beneath the weight of the heavy drape, shattered light forming all these jagged shapes in the plush quiet where the ghosts of the past reside. There is nowhere left for a lonely heart to hide, wrapped in the texture of a soft nocturnal dream. Nothing is ever quite as simple as it would seem. Just a low vibration humming in the hollow dark, leaving behind a faint and invisible mark.